What a joy to be together in this evening, and I want to thank God and also His servant, Reverend Dr. Paothang, and his wife who insist that I be here this evening. Reverend Dr. Paothang and I have known each other for many years, as he has mentioned, and I've been following the seminary's activities all these years. Never thought that I will one day join a graduation ceremony and see what God is doing here. What a joy also to have our honorable MPs to be with us this evening. Two of them, one from the Lok Sabha and one from the Rajya Sabha. And I want all of us to know, and particularly the graduating students, this is a wonderful occasion. And we have an MP preacher who could really preach God's word to you. And if a politician, an MP, can preach, that is something that you need to remember as you go out into the world, that you are called to be an evangelist, a preacher, or a pastor, or whatever it is, that you will emulate our honorable MP for the wonderful preaching, of course. Well, what else to say? There's so many things in my heart I would like to say. As I said, I have been following the seminary's activities, and I want to thank God for the wonderful opportunity that this seminary has produced graduates from across the world. You can say across the world, even the so-called first world or second world or third world, however you call. And what a joy to know all those names, or we don't have all the names today. And in God's privilege, I have been an evangelist in the first world, second world, and the third world. And as I think of the graduates in all those countries, and I want to thank God, particularly the founder of this seminary, Reverend Dr. Paothang, and of course his wife as well. Without his wife, he will not be what he is today. We all know that. And on this occasion, I don't want to say so many things, but my meditation this morning from the book of Hebrews, Hebrews chapter 12. Most of you probably know by heart, because when I joined OM, that was one passage that I'm supposed to memorize. In 1 month, I had to memorize 30 chapters in 1 month. Can you imagine? That means one day you have to memorize one. And if by chance, if you have 31 days, then you have 1 day or extra days. And in Hebrew chapter, especially for the graduating students and all of you, as I mentioned, the wonderful occasion you have of the witness of your graduation by 2 honorable MPs, and also the product of this seminary across the globe. I can say across the globe because I couldn't write down all the names, but certainly all the different countries of the world, including some countries that are restricted practice of Christianity, because I've been to some of those countries. I understand how difficult it is. And you have traditions, you have an alumni in all those countries. You are following their footsteps. In that context, Apostle Paul, we believe that Hebrews was written by Apostle Paul, where he says in the Hebrew chapter 12, in verse 1 to 1, he said, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses," in other words, I want to say, we have a cloud of people that we need to follow. We will follow the Israelites, how to travel the desert of Sinai from the north to the south, and the south to the north, east to the west. And I understand, or having seen the mountains where Moses would have experienced a cloud of witnesses. He says, a cloud of witnesses. Let us throw off everything that hinders, the sins that entangles us. But that is not the main thing. He says, let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. This is especially for the graduate students. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. And secondly, it said, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of our faith. I have served the Lord for almost 50 years. As a young boy, I began serving the Lord in very, very difficult places, both in our country and across the globe. And I know how it is, what we will call as the hardships of being a Christian. To be a witness, to be a preacher, to be an evangelist, whatever it is. So, the encouragement I want to leave is that we will run with perseverance the race that is marked for us, so that at the end, as Apostle Paul wrote to the young Timothy, that we will say that I have run the race, I have finished the race. So we can say like Apostle Paul,